So I've gone ahead and changed the oil on the truck. So the truck does need 5-weight 30. I've replaced it with 5-weight 20, and I'm gonna run it for about 100 miles with 5-weight 20. The oil gauge indicator is now at mid 20s, and it's not going back down, and it's not giving me that beep that it was. However, the engine oil light is on, and so there's something else that I'm gonna go ahead and do to solve that. But at the end, you still have to run it about 100 miles plus to reset the whole system in the truck. All right, so I'm going to remove the battery, leave it off for about 20 seconds to try to get the system to reset. And this is again for the 2007 Chevy Tahoe. Again, I was getting low pressure on the oil, and what I did is I drained the oil, and I am going to put in a 5-weight 20 instead of a 5-weight 30, which is what this takes. And I'm gonna run it with a thinner oil so that see if it'll clear out the filter. So we've reset it. I'm gonna set it back in, and hopefully this will reset the computer on the 2007 Chevy Tahoe. All right, so here's the moment of truth. So I just went ahead and disconnected the battery on the truck, and I left it disconnected for about a minute. And here I am, I'm about to crank it back up, and hopefully the beep from the oil pressure that I was getting has cleared out. So I put in a 5-weight 20, and I'm gonna run it for about 100 miles to try to clean that filter that it has. And I'll show you guys the diagnostic that I did to confirm that that was the issue. But here it is. Let's turn it on and see if we get again, here's the indicator of the check engine light, and let's crank it up and see what happens. All right, so it looks like we clear. So initially when I was cranking it up, I should have taken of it earlier, but before I changed the oil on it, this was giving me coming up to about 20 on the pressure gauge, and then it was dropping all the way down to 0, and then I would get the beep. So that happened, and I ran it for a couple of days, and then once it did that, running it that way, then I got the check engine light that came on. So now I drained the oil. The oil got drained out completely. Then I went ahead and threw in another quart of oil while the compartment was still open, and so it was continuing to drain, so it cleared it all out. So now I disconnected the battery, left it disconnected for about a minute, and then I reconnected it, came in, turned it on, and now as you can see, the check engine oil, or the check engine light, is now off. The oil pressure is not going back down to 0. So hopefully this will clear it up. Another issue that I do have to get fixed with this is the odometer, and then you can kind of see that the same thing on the gears is happening. You can barely see the gears there, but the odometer is completely gone. So I'm gonna have to take this whole thing off. I've looked and searched a couple of other people, and it looks like they can fix it. And it sounds like there's a chip that actually goes out on it, and it has to be replaced. So I'm gonna have to take that apart. But hopefully this will now allow me to get the inspection, which will then allow me to get my registration sticker. So if you've been looking around online to try to find out, hey, why am I getting that pressure? Why is my needle on the pressure for my oil pressure dropping all the way down to 0? You may want to try that. Again, it'll come up to about 20 to 40, and then once you're driving, it starts dropping until it gets to 0, and then you start getting a beep as you're continuing to drive. But it's because there's a filter, and apparently this is it right here. So I took it to AutoZone, and they did the diagnostic, and this is the error code that it got, the P0521 and then P0455. And so it's the engine oil pressure sensor. They did ask me if I wanted to go ahead and buy it. I just wanted to confirm that that's what it was before I went ahead and bought it. It's only about $30 to $35, so it's not that bad. But there it is. There's your issue right there. It's the sensor for the engine oil pressure. And you can see the diagnostic right here. You can see that it's cleared off the check engine light, and the oil pressure on the truck is stable. So I'm gonna run it with 5-weight 20 for about 100 miles, and then my next step will be to drain it after I run it for about 100 miles, and then throw in the 5-weight 30 on there. But before I do that, I'm gonna get an inspection sticker with the 5-weight 20 just to make sure that sensor oil pressure item doesn't come back on until the inspection is done on it. Hopefully this helps you. I've been researching it for a couple of months now, and been having the same issue, and finally ran across an article that said, hey, you may want to try this, and I tried it. So hope it helps you.